Hey, second graders. I hope your first day of learning at home is going really well. Ours is going pretty well here too. I just wanted to do a couple things with y'all. I have the seed experiment. I told you I would start it on the same day as y'all. Since it's the very first day, we've got to start our seeds. So in your packet that I gave you, you have your cup that you're gonna keep your seeds in, and then you have your soil. So you're gonna pour your soil in, just like that. It should basically fill up the cup. I think I gave you all plenty that you'll have room for that. So mine goes up to about right there, and that's great. So there's that. And then you're gonna take out your zinnia seeds. And I'll also post a video here in a little bit of the zinnias in my yard that have started sprouting and germinating. They're getting pretty big. So anyhow, you're gonna take your zinnia seed, and you have a few in there. We tilt it like this, and you're just gonna put it in there and just kind of pat it in. You don't want it to go too deep, and just barely cover up the soil. I maybe have it like, if you're looking at your finger, maybe like that much, not just way far down, not even an inch. This is a full inch. And that's one of the things that you're learning is your measurement with your inches. So you need less than an inch, so itty bitty bit. We call that about a 1/4 inch. So mom and dad can probably help you gauge that. And so I'm gonna put all my seeds in there. I know you can't see that right now. Let me move it so you can. Okay, so take my seed, put it in there, pat it down just a little bit. I put about 5 in there because the more you put in there, the more likely you're gonna have one that will sprout. Okay, so there. We'll get this. Okay, now you need just a little bit of water. And like I said in an earlier video, if you have a mister, that would be better because you don't want to put too much water at all in there because you don't want the seeds to float off because the soil's not just real stable, it's really loose. So here's our soil. I'm just gonna barely put it in. Okay, you just want your soil moist. It does not need to be super, super wet. Okay, so we have it set up. As you can see, there's not water pouring out when I do this. That's because I just put enough in there. Some of your seeds, if they popped up a little bit when the soil washed off when you put the water in, just stick those back down. And the more you water, the more secure they will be, and the soil will become a little bit more compacted. I'm gonna put just a tiny bit more right there. I didn't put much of my measuring cup because I wanted to make sure I didn't over water. Okay, so there's that. Now, in your seed observation journal, you're gonna put your name. We always have trouble putting our name, don't we? Some of you. Mrs. Turner, put your name on that. So when you turn it in, we'll know whose is whose. Okay, so day 1. So what does your plant look like? Well, not much, right? Just a cup. So I'm just gonna draw a cup. And then I'm going to draw it like this. Okay, so do you see how I drew the cup and then I drew this down here? That's as if I cut the cup a little bit to show what's going on inside of the cup. I'm gonna just draw some soil, just a little bit like this. Okay, because there's nothing that's growing out of it just yet. All right, so it says describe the steps of how you set up your experiment. So you're going to write, you can say first I got my cup, second I poured in the soil, third I planted the seeds, and last I watered them. Okay, so those are gonna be the steps, just 3 or 4 steps, just keep it simple. Then in 3 days from now, on day 4, you're gonna do the same thing. Who knows, you might have a little seed that sprouts. It might germinate and you can draw the first little leaves that it has on there. That's called the cotyledons, by the way, the first 2 leaves that come up. Okay, so you're just gonna continue that all the way to day 20, and that's gonna take us past that April 14th date that we are hopefully gonna be back at school. So we're gonna continue that through that weekend, and then that next Monday it'll be due. And on your lesson plans, I wrote which day, the actual date that it should be of day 2, like day 4, day 8, day 12. Okay, so the other thing I wanna show you after you set up your experiment is I want you to be able to look at the caterpillars. They have grown a ton. Okay, so these arrived last Wednesday on the 25th, and they were, my goodness, way smaller than this, especially this guy. Look at this big old guy. And they're all live, they're all moving. You might see some specks in there and stuff. Well, that's because as you've been watching your videos, or if you will this afternoon or tomorrow, you'll see that they shed their skin, okay? They are in the larva stage right now. The other day in the video, I made a mistake and I said pupa, but that's the egg stage. So please do not call it the pupa stage. They are in the larva stage right now, okay? Make sure you get that. Okay, so there's that one, and then here are these. And so when they get a little bit bigger, they're gonna form their chrysalis. They're gonna crawl up here to the top, form the chrysalis, then we're gonna take that off, put it on that stand I showed you, and then put it inside of here. Okay, well, let me know if y'all have any questions today or anytime this week. Just call me or text me, send me a message. I'd love that I've been getting some pictures from some of your parents of y'all learning today. That's made me so happy. Post some pictures, send them to me, and that way we can keep in touch. All right, y'all have a fun time setting up your seed experiment.